A new era begins. How the ruling in the case of Brown v. Board of Education, Topeka, Kansas, began the fight to end segregation. What the Jim Crow laws, the trial of the Scottsboro Boys, and the murder of Emmett Till had proven was that the separate but equal ruling of Plessy v. Ferguson was not being carried out. When African Americans could not receive equal justice and whites could murder African Americans without being punished, it was clear that something was wrong with the system. State and local governments were not living up to the ideal of equal protection of the law, guaranteed in the 14th Amendment. In 1954, a series of Supreme Court cases challenged the notion of separate but equal being in line with the rights guaranteed by the 14th Amendment. African Americans in 5 school districts sued because they believed they were being denied the same, meaning equal, facilities that whites had at their schools. The argument, made by Thurgood Marshall and the NAACP on the part of African Americans, was that segregated schools, along with all other examples of segregation, were actually inferior to those of whites, and therefore not equal in quality. Marshall, acting as the lead attorney, further argued that this inequality made African Americans feel inferior to whites, continuing that sense of inferiority. The justices of the Supreme Court did not want their ruling being seen as simply about the states of the old Confederacy, and so they listed Brown v. Board of Education, Topeka, Kansas, a free state that fought on the side of the Union in the Civil War, first. The Supreme Court decision was 9-0, unanimous, in favor of the African Americans, ending the period of separate but equal in the United States. Chief Justice Earl Warren worked hard to make sure that the decision was unanimous, because he felt that a divided decision would leave open the question of the legality of segregation. As a result of the decision, schools across the country were supposed to be integrated, but the Supreme Court allowed school districts to develop a plan for integration and then put that plan in place. While Topeka worked to integrate their schools quickly, many southern states dragged their heels. African Americans were required to go back to the Supreme Court and ask again for relief. The court amended its decision, telling school districts that they needed to integrate their schools with all deliberate speed. Many southern school districts closed their doors rather than integrate them. Others were forced to integrate, having soldiers in their cities to make sure that African Americans received the equal facilities guaranteed to them in the 14th Amendment.